Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Akakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to the Akwat that are listening, learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000 and one third, the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother Yahshua, and shalom and salutation to you all. This lesson is basically about them counting the votes and how it's going to add to the tension. Okay. This is all part of a plan. So, start at Proverbs 6 and 12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Then it goes into the six things which can be attributed to this lesson as well, but I'm going to try to keep it as succinct as possible. Let's go quickly to Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So this devil is up to something, okay? And what we have to do is point it out, because this is going to throw people off, okay? They're not going to count the votes, or they're not going to announce the winner, right, on the 5th of November. And everybody's anticipating that. If they do announce a winner, then basically that's the false flag, all right? That means that they, whatever outcome they want from announcing the winner at that time, is calculated in the announcing. If they don't announce and say that, oh, it's going to take time to count the votes, then the result that they want is in the delay. You have to understand that. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, in order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his scheme. Let's get that. It doesn't flow like it does in the game. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so let's watch this. I'm going to keep this very short. So this is 2 days ago, and the name, this MSNBC, it says, when will election results come in? Report says we may not know election night. Now, what is that going to cause? Okay, everybody wants to, well, who won? Well, who won, right? Because it doesn't matter who won, you're going to get chaos, right? But what, okay, hey, well, we don't know who won. Let's play some game. Let the games begin, right? Let's let the games begin. Let's stretch it out for a while. Might be 2 weeks after the 5th, right? What do you mean we may not know? That means you can do whatever the hell you want to do and achieve whatever result you plan on achieving. See, it's not about no election. It's about controlling the people, okay? How do you control them? Through manipulating the election. So watch this. A lot of information in here. Here we go.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and 5 other Senate Democrats are warning voters that the results of the November election may not be fully known that night. A new 11-page report concluding some state vote totals on election night might not give us a complete picture of who will win after all the votes are counted.
Meaning we can do whatever the hell we have. More votes came in. They can play whatever damn game they want to. And just the thought, right? The thought of them playing whatever game they want to is going to infuriate Esau to the point where he's going to strike. You understand? The devil ain't that damn smart. Once his intellect is being challenged, he's going to blow his stack. And that's what this is designed to do.
There have been efforts to stoke fear and chaos about the election with false allegations of voter fraud. The American people should beware of election misinformation.
So do you see how this whole thing is set up? They have, what do you call it, think tanked this whole thing, right? This election was chosen because of the date that it lands on, right? When they plan on imploding America, if you will, right? It's all baked into a big old cake that they've been slow baking going back 40, 50 years. When you understand that, now they're going to micro manage, if you will, this election to get the desired result. Okay? If it's going to have people fighting in the street on November 5th, then they'll call the election, they'll name the winner. If it's going to do more damage or cause more chaos to make people wait, then that's what they're going to do. Right? Whatever their desired outcome is, that's what they have planned. And you can best believe that they have war gamed, they've run tests, they've done everything that they can. They've primed the pump. They've done everything that needs to be done for this moment, because this is a big moment for these people trying to achieve their goals.
Joining me now, Democratic Senator and Whip Dick Durbin of Illinois. It's always good to see you, Senator, and I wonder how worried you are.
And what I'm trying to explain is the devil is setting this up so that it will yield chaos. Okay? And he has many options. Oh, well, we won't know. The moment they try to tell the people, well, we won't know, right? Who won? We don't know who won. It's going to take a minute. And while that minute, we're taking 2 weeks, then people are burning up votes. People are destroying, cyber attacking voting machines. You name it. Whatever you want to throw into this cake, you can do it.
Misinformation, voter intimidation, voter suppression. What are your concerns about election night?
I'm very concerned about those who are trying to suppress the vote in America. Every legal voter should be given their chance, and I hope they all turn out. That's a good election.
You hear this, devil? Historically, niggas have died trying to vote. And the devil can sit here with a straight face and say, well, it's always, we have never had any voter fraud ever in America. Did he say it yet? He's about to.
Democracy. But the things we're worried about the most are these efforts at some of the state levels to stop those who want to vote and to make it more difficult for those who do. For instance, there was recently an effort by the Republicans challenging votes that were cast by people who live overseas or work overseas. That includes, of course, our men and women in uniform who want to vote as well. We can't let that happen. We've got to make sure that their right to vote is preserved.
It's not unusual, I don't need to tell you this, for some results not to be known on election night. There are close races. But do you think 2024 could be something larger and something more troubling?
I think it could be, to be very honest with you, because I think there's an effort afoot to complicate the voting experience in America. Remember this, historically in modern times, our vote is very accurate and there's very little dishonesty that takes place.
You hear that bullshit? Historically. After we done disenfranchised Negroes from voting all the way up to death, there's very little dishonesty. What? What are you talking about? Fuck are you talking about, devil? Come on.
Those who argue otherwise have no proof to back up their statement. Let's make sure that only legally eligible people are voting, for sure.
Yeah, you've been doing that. If you're not a white male, you are not voting, even though they changed the law. And this shotgun right here is my witness.
Should agree on that. But let's not complicate the process. Men and women make a sacrifice to go in and cast their vote. They want to be part of this future, this democracy.
Look
We
at
ought to give
Jake.
them that chance.
Look at Jake. Who are we talking about here? Historically, these niggas would be run the fuck up out of that line. Tarred and feathered and all manner of shit because voting, right? Man, don't even. I'm gonna have to go get a snippet.
About your chamber now, Senator, where Republicans, as you know, could take the majority by some.
Okay, I'm done. All right. Voting, even though it don't mean shit, it means a lot. It means so much that this devil will go and kill Jake, right? Let's see. Historic voter suppression against so-called blacks. Let's see what comes up. This nigga was all about the votes. Okay, a brief history of voter suppression against Black Americans. That's all we need is a brief history. This month, historically, it's been fair. Fucker. They're gonna, trust me, they're gonna play every angle of this to manipulate it into them getting exactly what they want out of this selection, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, 3 years ago, uninterrupted, a brief history of voter suppression against Black Americans, NBA 2K TV.
If you're wondering why voting is so important to me and why it should be important to you, let's go back in time for a moment.
Let's start with the assassination of President Lincoln, leading to the Andrew Johnson presidency. Johnson, a firm believer in state rights, allowed states post-Civil War to reestablish their own governments. Southern states, free from restraint, drafted their own laws that actively targeted the rights and freedoms of African Americans. To combat these oppressive laws, Congress passed the 14th and 15th Amendments. Now former slaves were granted citizenship, and states were prohibited from denying voting rights based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. But the states simply worked around the amendments with new suppression tactics, ushering in the era of the Jim Crow laws. Poll taxes, literacy tests, legalized segregation. These state and local laws not only suppressed the vote, they made daily life for African Americans dangerous. The price for resistance was fierce. Meanwhile, on the federal level, the 19th Amendment extended voting rights to women, sort of, because Jim Crow laws still practically denied African American women the right to vote. Almost a century after the birth of Jim Crow laws, finally, a victory, with the passing of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. A year later, the Supreme Court bans the poll tax. The era of Jim Crow is dead, but the era of black voter suppression is not. In 2012, black voter turnout rate exceeded white voter turnout for the first time in U.S. history, leading to the re-election of President Obama.
We are an American family, and we rise or fall together as one nation and as one people.
But only a year later, the Supreme Court decided to overturn a key aspect of the Voting Rights Act. Some states no longer need federal approval to change their election laws. A few short years later, we're living in a new but familiar world of threats to voters' rights. These tactics can make people feel their vote doesn't matter. But history teaches us not just about these challenges, but how we overcame them. And why we have an obligation to fulfill the rights that others fought so hard to enable and protect.
We ain't overcame a damn thing. Okay, go back to Marshall Lucifer Coon. All right, what did he do? He didn't do shit. He didn't change shit. Okay, he ushered us into a burning house, like the nigga said. And he realized that after the fact. Okay, if you think for a moment that they established all of that white supremacy just to open it up today, and they, shit. Let's go here. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, the so-called white man, Esau, was more crafty than any beast of the field that the Lord power had made. So all you need to know to understand that whatever they did some 3-card molly to make you believe that somehow your vote is being counted or that it means anything, right? It don't, all right? This whole thing is a dog and pony show. And guess what? This devil historically will kill your black ass about your vote, whether it means anything or not. This is about controlling the masses is what it's about, all right? They want you under, they don't want you thinking the way that the men of the Lord think, which is clearly and in the spirit, right? Knowing all things with that unction, right?
Only a year later, the Supreme Court decided to overturn a key aspect of the voting rights.
Understand? You don't know what rights you do and don't have or what count. You don't know what's on the books right now going in there. Be done change some shit a week before the election. Well, these votes, and then, well, we have to subtract these votes. They don't count because of the new law that, man, this devil, boy, let's go back here. We're going to count. We're going to count up the votes, and we're going to tell you who won. Right? Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as Zion rusteth, so is his wickedness. This nigga cannot tell the truth. Okay, this whole thing is a game. Let the games begin. What are they going to do with this crisis that they're not going to let go to waste? Okay? So just be prepared. Understand that when they don't count the vote, right, and they suddenly spring it upon people, oh, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, that's when people are going to get mad. They could blow the hell, Esau could blow up because he ain't getting his way, because he didn't get his red meat, okay? They can go straight to doing what? What he does best, murdering, right? St. John 8:44. This devil, hey, he was programmed to do a couple of things really, really good. Murder and lie. That's what he's programmed to do. And if you don't understand that, St. John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer. Here's the things that he does really well. He was a murderer from the beginning. So these are his skills. He's a murderer and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. And he's a deceptive. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Now go back to Genesis. Now the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field that the Lord power had made. You see? Hey, let's have a vote. Right? Hey, let's have a debate. Let's do something that calls for honesty and fairness and to be fair and balanced. He can't do it. He'll make it seem like it's fair because that's how good he is at deception. So when you go into this vote, you go to cast your vote, you can best believe if you vote for Obama, you can best believe it's going to come out Trump because this serpent, he's that good. All right? So when they don't count the vote because of the delay, it's going to cause chaos. We're going to sit back and watch, all right? We're going to see how this devil had this whole thing planned from the beginning. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and sisters, shalom.